inglés. Para los que no vieron en las pantallas, el Rab es Rab Goldstein de Sudáfrica. Él es el Rab. ¿Quién no puede estar aquí? No, de una vez nada más. Bueno, entonces el Rab de Sudáfrica es el que fundó Shabbos Project. Sí, hay pocas cosas en la última década o incluso en los últimos 20 años que hayan cambiado tan drásticamente el calendario como Shabbos Project. En todas las escuelas, en todas las comunidades judías, parte del calendario, igual que nosotros. Eduardo. Parte del calendario, Shabbos Project figura en todas las comunidades judías del mundo. Entonces, tener a alguien que tuvo una gran idea, que se decidió a seguirla y que puede aconsejarnos cómo confiar en nosotros y ese poder que tienen las ideas, no hay nadie mejor que el Rab, por lo cual pido totalmente silencio, ¿sí? Para que el Rab pueda dirigirnos unas palabras.
Hola, hola, hola. Shalom. It's great to be with you. English okay? Everyone understand English? Okay. So I wanted to talk to you about the power of following your dreams and doing a great idea. And the Shabbat project started as something small in South Africa in 2013, and then we take one Shabbat in the year, and everybody decides to keep that Shabbat and to celebrate that Shabbat. And this year it's happening on the 27th and 28th of October, Pashat Lech Lecha. And it started in South Africa. It was just for the South African Jewish community. And then we put a video on YouTube about what happened in South Africa, and it went all around the world to the point where last year there were Shabbos Project partners in 1,152 cities in the world, in 95 countries, involving more than 1 million people. And it's been something which is quite amazing, and it's been an amazing journey. It's about the power of achdut, of unity. It's about the power of Shabbat, what Shabbat can do to change people's lives. It's such an important force and such a special thing that people need so desperately today. We live in a world where there's so much. Pressure and so much work and so much connection to technology. That Shabbat is a day where we can have a break from all of that and just have a chance to live. And but what the Shabbat project teaches you, and I know that at your school, this is a very important lesson that they teach you in your school, the importance of following an idea and of thinking of new ideas and of trying to change the world through new ideas. So I want to encourage each and every single one of you to follow your new ideas and to think about new ideas that you can do in life in general, but also new ideas for the Shabbat project. Like, for example, there was a teenager in South Africa who came up with an idea that anyone who's involved in the Shabbat project and agrees to keep that Shabbat would wear to school luminous yellow shoelaces. So then at school there were thousands of children with luminous yellow shoelaces, and it became something. So that's maybe an idea, but that's what he came up with. There was another teenager in Seattle, Washington, who brought the whole Shabbat project to his community in Seattle, Washington. So it's an amazing thing what you can do as teenagers to be leaders, because that's why I'm here to talk to you, because each and every single one of you are leaders. And that's what I wanted to put to you today. I want to ask you all to become partners with me in the Shabbat project. I'd like you to form a committee of amongst you who are going to be involved in the Shabbat project. And what does it mean to be involved? We want to try and get as many people as possible to keep that Shabbat. So that is using, for example, having a campaign where we can go on video and switch off and say we're switching off cell phones, and that we're going to switch off cell phones, and for that Shabbat everyone is going to switch off cell phones and everyone's going to keep that Shabbat, to make a video about that. So I'd love to have a committee from the school who can be involved to do that, or to create a youth tish on the Friday night, or a Sudash Lishit or something like that. And I think it would be so important if we could form a committee. So I want you to think about it. I'm not going to ask you now to put up your hands, but rather just to think about it. And from amongst you, if you will come forward and speak to your Rav, and to make a committee so that we can take the Shabbat project forward. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I've spoken in all the schools this morning, and there are Shabbat project committees happening in all of the other schools. So I want to make sure that over here in Magen David, there's also going to be a Shabbat project committee like in all the other schools. So does this sound like something that you would be interested in? And I'd love to have a committee that comes from this school as well, so that you can meet up with the other schools and their committees, and that together we can make the most amazing Shabbat project here in Mexico. And you can also, through that video and through what you do, you can send a message not only to teenagers in Mexico, but to teenagers all around the world, to say, we are part of that Shabbat, we are keeping that Shabbat, and we want you to keep that Shabbat with us as well. And that can be something which is so powerful and so positive, and it's in your hands as leaders to be able to achieve that. So that's what I wanted to share with you. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take questions. If there are no questions, that's my main message that I wanted to share with you. But if there's any questions that you would like to have answered, with the greatest of pleasure, I'm ready to have a conversation and to chat and to discuss with you if there's anything that you have in mind. If some of you already think that some of you want to be on the Shabbat Project Committee, is there anybody already thinks that they want to be on the Shabbat Project Committee? If we have some hands of people who want to be on the Shabbat Project Committee, then you can put up your hands now, or you can think about it, and we can all join in to make it the best Shabbat project ever that Mexico has seen. So thank you so much. Are there any questions? Anything that anybody?
Let me translate the last part. El Rab pide que quiere que, igual como los demás colegios ha invitado esta mañana, él pide que aquí en Magen David, aparte de los demás, o sea, de los proyectos que se hacen por parte de los maestros y de la Dirección de Estudios Judaicos, él pide que quisiera ver un comité de alumnos formado para proponer diferentes actividades que solo a ustedes se les pueden ocurrir, para enriquecer este Shabbos Project, y que este comité también se junte con los comités de las demás escuelas, para que podamos realmente que Shabbos Project no sea algo institucional, sino que toda la fuerza de ustedes, toda su creatividad, su intuición, su iniciativa quede plasmada en este Shabbos Project. Entonces la invitación del Rab es, si alguien tiene una idea que quiera compartirla, la puede compartir ahorita, la pueden platicar después conmigo o con cualquier persona o sea, cualquiera de sus maestros. Y bueno, entonces, si alguien quiere ser parte del comité, puede ahorita levantar la mano, o pueden levantarlo después, y vamos registrando esto. Y el Rab pregunta si alguien tiene alguna pregunta para él, o sea, en su experiencia de líder transformador, si algún alumno tiene alguna pregunta para él. Pueden levantar la mano. Sin pena. Hey, si nadie tiene preguntas, no pasa nada. O algún comentario o algo que quieran decir sobre Shabbos Project, puede ser en español.
La visión de su proyecto desde un principio pensó que iba a tener tanto impacto. ¿Qué? Yo quiero comentarlos.
Okay, it's a good question. I didn't think it would ever get so big. When we started, it was just for South Africa, and even in South Africa, didn't know if it was going to work or not. So we just tried it, and it's an important lesson in life. When you want to try something and it can be good, just try it. It doesn't matter. The worst you can do is fail. And so we tried it, and it really worked. And then we created this YouTube video, and it went all around the world. I didn't expect it to go all around the world, and then it just did. And so it's had this tremendous koach. I think that it's got the koach of Shabbat and the koach of Achdut, and that's what's been so very powerful about it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the most important part in trying to keep Shabbat for somebody that is not usually keeping Shabbat?
I think, what Shabbat is a whole important and powerful experience, and I think the starting point of it is to turn off cell phones, to not go onto Facebook, to not watch television, to get away from all of these things, because we are so busy and we are so bombarded by these things all the time that we forget what it is to be a human being and what it is to connect with our fellow person and ourselves. We forget even what it's like to connect to ourselves, and so I think that can be a very important part of it. Yeah.
I mean, in general, like, for people to understand like the meaning of Shabbat, like you need to understand why. So I mean, people just see Shabbat as disconnecting, but I mean, I once heard about like Shabbat. It's like every week. It's like the whole year, and Shabbat is like Kippur, and you have to start again. What do you say?
I think Shabbat is Shabbat. You know what is so important about Shabbat? It's a time where we reconnect with Hashem. It's a time we remember that we created, and it's a time that we also reconnect with ourselves. Because sometimes we forget who we are. We're so busy on WhatsApp and on Facebook that we forget who we are, and it's an opportunity and a time to do that, and also to remember that Hashem created the world. That's also an important thing. It's an opportunity to remember that Hashem created the world. We're going to take one more question. Who wants the last? Yeah. Last question. Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. Don't you think that... Ya, en español. ¿No crees que tipo Shabbat es solo para estar con la familia y lo que quieras? Y no tiene nada que ver con estar conectado a las redes sociales, porque uno puede estar con la familia y seguir conectado a las redes sociales. Ahí va.
So it's not only to be with the family, it's also to be with yourself. It's a time to think, it's a time to read, it's a time to be mitpalel. It's a time to go for walks, just to think and to remember what life is really about. So it's not only just to be with family, it's also to be with yourself and to be with friends. It's a time to be with friends where you don't have a TV going on or something else. So it's just an opportunity, and also a time to be with Hashem. We forget God, and it's a time to be with Hashem. So it's an opportunity to have time with all of these people, not just family. Family is only one aspect. It's great to be with you. I've enjoyed the time, and thank you so much, and I look forward to being partners with you.
Un segundo más, antes de que sigamos al Rab, quiero agradecerle al Rab y a los organizadores del Shabbos Project por haberlo traído. Nada más, estamos en el LUL y todo el mundo estamos planeando qué queremos para el próximo año. Si una idea así pudo cambiar al mundo, quiere decir que todos los demás podemos hacer. Cuando empecemos a pensar en nuestros proyectos de Rosh Hashanah, estas son las cosas que tenemos que pensar que podemos lograr. No quedan en cosas sencillas. Podemos cambiar el mundo. El lunes es el momento para prepararnos para eso. Entonces vamos a pensar. Gracias a todos. No pueden salir todos. Un segundo. Va a salir uno primero y les voy a decir algo. Y les vamos a decir algo más todavía. Un segundo.